LEGO has been changing up what their clone troopers look like since 2002, and I'm going to show you in this video what every single different iteration looks like in their grunt form, which is basically like the plain white clone trooper form. Now, you'd think that LEGO would have made every single different version of the clone trooper in that plain white style, but they actually forgot one, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. After the first clone. We got to do these in order, obviously. This is the first ever clone trooper that LEGO made, and it came out in 2002. This one nowadays goes for, what is it, $30? Oh my goodness, $30 US for this minifigure. I love these types of OG clones, but thank you very much. I'm gonna keep my $30 and spend it on something else. This has an open visor helmet, and the best part of open visor helmets is you can swap out the head like this. Let's say we want to swap it for this color. Just put any color head on there that you want, and boom, it looks different. The visor is different. And if we flip it around to the back, what the heck is that? These misprints, I think, were pretty common back in the day. As you can see at the bottom, it's just not aligned correctly. All right. But that's kind of the charm of these older minifigures. Fast forward to 2005 and you have my favorite ever clone trooper that LEGO made. I'm saying the word ever so much in this video. I'm sorry, guys. I love this minifigure so much because I like phase 2 better than phase 1, and it has the open visor so you can swap out the head for whatever color you want. And this one actually has a different color torso than the phase 1 because LEGO just ended up changing the color of gray that they use. So this one is light gray and this one is light bluish gray. Can you even tell the difference? It's really hard to tell, to be honest. A notable variation of this guy that we got back in 2005 is this guy right here with a jetpack. It's basically the same thing, just with a jetpack and a cool looking gun. It goes for $32 on Bricklink, man. These things are expensive as heck. 3 years later in 2008, they made this bad boy right here. This is probably the most iconic clone trooper that LEGO has ever made, because they made a ton of these back in the day when the Clone Wars episodes were still coming out back then. These guys were all over the place. This was the golden age of LEGO clones, in my opinion. I have to say, there's one L about this minifigure, and that is, what the heck happened to the helmet mold? They took away the open visor. Not customizable anymore. They do have helmet holes, though. The helmet holes are pretty nice. It still looks fine, but could be better. Okay, could be better. They also had the iconic angry clone face, which just looks super ugly if you compare it to modern standards, and it doesn't have leg printing or arm printing or anything that you'd expect modern clones to have, which kind of makes it a good level of simplistic, and it just has so much charm to it. Still not as good as this guy, though. This guy was peak. A really interesting thing about this era is they used these molds for armor pieces, and here's what it looks like on the minifigure. No! The camera died, guys. That's actually really annoying. Here's what he looks like fully suited up, and we got actually one of these minifigures in a battle pack that sold really well back in the day. And this is just so interesting, just seeing no cloth on this minifigure. It's just all molded parts. Then in 2010, LEGO got really confusing because they made this guy, which kind of looks like the original phase 2 clone, right? Except for the fact that it isn't the same, because it's like a more bold version of it, and they kind of altered the face print a little bit. I don't know why they made it look like just slightly different. Instead of committing to a new style, you can also see that they don't have a dot on the helmet on the back. Very interesting. But if you kind of travel into the future a little bit and take a look at the realistic style, it kind of looks pretty similar. I have no idea what LEGO was doing when they made this, but I kind of like it for that reason, because it's just super unique and no one really knows about it. They're always like, oh, this guy? You mean this guy? No, I don't mean this guy. I mean this guy. What do you mean? Since this guy was based off of Revenge of the Sith, LEGO really couldn't just blend him with this. Like, this doesn't make sense. This one's based off of the Clone Wars, and this one's based off of not the Clone Wars. So they had to invent a new style, which caused them to make the Phase 2 animated style. And this one was actually not officially made by LEGO. So how do I have it? It's because I stole it from the LEGO factory, guys. No, I'm kidding. It's because this one is made by Grandpa Clone Customs. It's a custom minifigure. It's printed on all official parts except for the helmet, and this looks pretty much the same as all the other clone troopers that we got in this era, because we did actually see a 212th trooper and a 501st trooper in this style. So this isn't just like something that was made up. This is actually based off the template that LEGO actually used. But sadly, after a while, the Clone Wars died out. Not because the show was not performing well, but because Disney freaking bought Star Wars. Yeah, kind of wish that didn't happen. So as the Clone Wars was ending, LEGO was forced to make more sets based off of the movies, which caused them to make this minifigure right here. Is my camera dying again? Oh my gosh. This ended up being called the realistic style because it is the style that is just based off of like how things look like in real life, because it's based off of the movies, how things look like in the movies with real actors, real people, not animated anymore. And notice how this one doesn't have leg printing. That's going to be important to remember for later on. LEGO didn't only make the Phase 1 clones in the realistic style, they also made Phase 2 clones. And as you can see, this one does have leg printing right here. Unfortunately, a lot of the helmets had misprints like this. I don't know why LEGO wasn't able to print very well inside of the breather piece right here, because Grandpa Clone Customs can do that just fine. At the time, this helmet mold wasn't anything new because we had gotten the same kind of mold of helmet back when we had the animated style Phase 2 Clone Troopers. But in 2014, I believe this was the start of LEGO consistently putting leg printing on their Clone Troopers. Then in 2018, LEGO re-released this one. What the heck is different about this? Oh, the leg printing! That's right! Yeah, this one didn't have leg printing and this one does have leg printing. That's literally the only difference. Also, the helmet is the only difference between this one and this one. So you can just swap this and boom. Now this one's worth a lot of money and this one isn't. Because, yeah, fun fact, this helmet just makes the minifigure worth like a ton more. By the way, LEGO also made a Santa clone by just literally doing this and putting it in an advent calendar. Good job, LEGO. 2 years after making this minifigure, are you kidding me? Why does my camera keep dying, bro? Then in 2020, LEGO made a very controversial move. They invented a new clone style. Micah, why are you showing a 501st Trooper? I thought you said you were showing Grunt Clone Troopers. It's because this is good context to know. LEGO invented this style, and all the people who like the realistic style, they're like, oh, it looks inaccurate. Then LEGO ended up making this guy in 2022, and I kind of like it, okay? What are you gonna do, cancel me? This is called the 2020 style because it's pretty much just like the blended version of a clone trooper, blending between the realistic style, which would be this one, and the animated style, which would be this one. So it's basically a compromise between the two, and I just really like this one because it's just unique. It's a compromise between two styles, which causes LEGO to say, I guess we can't just completely copy the source material. We have to actually be original and be creative. And of course, after making a Phase 1 Clone Trooper, you have to make Phase 2 in the same style, which they did that 2 years later in 2024. And unfortunately, this started the helmet hole debate. Like it or hate it, this minifigure is very controversial. The helmet hole being placed right here really annoys the heck out of some people, including me, okay? I'm just not gonna leave my bias out of this video, guys. I already said that I really like the OG Phase 2 clones, and look what they did to my boy. If you ask me, there's only one solution to this problem. That's the solution. Anyway, that's how the LEGO Clone Trooper went from looking like this to looking like this. If you want to watch a similar kind of like history-related video, you can watch this one, which is called I Made Every Style of LEGO Captain Rex, including some of them that LEGO has not made before. Hey, thanks for sticking with me to the end. Stay positive and have a great day, man.